time! You guys ready? They're not ready. They're not ready.
Are you by yourself over there?
Can't believe this is happening.
Yeah!
Welcome to another episode of Staff Inspection. We're back with the C10, and today we're gonna slam it to the ground. So in the last episode, we addressed the truck's reliability and gas mileage. I installed the Holley Sniper EFI kit, as well as their HyperSpark and their EFI fuel tank. So on top of that, we also installed a set of Hooker Super Comp long tube headers and some MSD wires, new plugs. So today, we're doing suspension. When I got the truck, it was already lowered using some lowering springs and some drop shackles. What we're gonna do is we got an entire kit from Belltech, 5-inch drop in the front, 7 in the rear. That is achieved in the front with 3-inch drop spindles, a set of lowering springs and new shocks. And in the rear, it's achieved with an axle flip kit. It changes the position where the leaf spring meets the axle from on top of the axle to underneath it, giving it a pretty significant drop. And then we've also got a C-notch kit that comes with that, so we can cut out the frame, make sure that we still get some suspension travel out of it. On top of that, the kit comes with some of their Street Performance shocks as well for the rear. I've also went ahead and bought a new set of leaf springs. On top of all that, since in the future, plan on having some pretty decent power in this thing, I went ahead and called Currie and got us one of their bolt-in 9-inch rear ends. Now, on top of all that, I've also gone ahead and grabbed some sway bars for the front and rear. We've also went ahead and got some new brakes, got a setup from Willwood out rear, so we got some 4-piston calipers, so we're gonna do a disc brake conversion in the rear. And then for the front, we've got a new set of rotors. We did not get calipers yet because, you know what? We are on a budget here. So that'll come later. Let's get to wrenching. We got a little help today.
What's going on, guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, Micah Diaz.
What up?
You may know him from things like, I don't know, winning Hoonigan's 1 and 2.
I did that.
Shredding the yard.
I did that.
Anyway, here's what we're doing today. We're slamming this. We're gonna pull the bed off first so we can get access to all this. Then we're gonna dive into here. We're gonna get all this other bullshit off, all the suspension, and then we're gonna start putting the new stuff in.
Sounds like this thing's gonna be pretty sweet.
All right, let's do it.
Sorry about hitting the truck.
All right. So we got the whole axle and suspension assembly out. Now we can start getting this C-notch done up. So we'll get out the Belltech kit, mark up what we got to do, and then we got the plasma cutter out here. So far, so good. Not too hard, especially having a hand with Micah. Now we just got to get some brake lines and wires and stuff out of the way so we can do the C-notch, and we can move forward. Keep it moving. All right, so Micah and I just got the e-brake shoes in. We're gonna run with a Willwood set. This nice hat style rotors. Toss these on, get this bad boy together. Let's get back to work. All right. So we got the frame notched out. Belltech provides these bolt-in C-notches. So basically all you gotta do, they give you a little template, you draw it out, you cut it out. We use the plasma. Boom!
What up?
I had Micah do it so I could film it and not work. I've been paying attention, Hurt. Got you, dog. This is the way to go. Hell, here we're gonna put the axle on, bolt it up, put the shocks on, and then that's
rolling.
That's it. That's it. Then we gotta put some wheels on. Ooh. We ain't talking about the wheels yet, but
You haven't told people about the wheels?
I mean, I told some people about the wheels, but I didn't show them really yet. Yeah. Okay, so welcome back. The other night when we last left off, it was getting a little bit too late, so I had to cut and run. So far, we've got the frame cut, the bolt-in C-notches. We've got those set in place. Now we got to drill out these holes, run the bolts for them. Then we got to mount the shocks, and then we'll make sure that the axle is aligned properly. We'll make sure when it sits down that everything is all kosher and good. And I think what we're going to do is after we drill these out, I think we're gonna take and hit this with some paint, make sure it doesn't rust. And then we're probably gonna take care of this rear end because that is definitely gonna rust if I don't do something about it. Okay, holes are drilled now. We're gonna pop these off and then spray paint some Rust-Oleum underneath it just to kind of make sure that the frame doesn't get more rusty than it already is. A little bit of preventative maintenance. Anyway. All right, got the rear axle in. Haven't run the brake lines yet. Got to figure out a solution for that. Gonna see if we got some stuff lying around the shop. But we're gonna go ahead and put in the rear sway bar and then drop it down and finally start on the front. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. One step closer, baby. Rear sway bar in. Basically, everything's buttoned up here in the rear except for the brakes and except for tightening the axle down because we're still gonna need to set that pinion angle, but we can't do that until everything is on the vehicle, the whole kit, and it's down on the ground and we can check everything with actual accuracy. Also, it will be helpful if the bed is on so the actual weight from that is suppressing the leaf springs and shocks too. One thing that I really like about these Currie bolt-in rear ends is that everything lines up where it's supposed to be, and then they include everything you need. So with the brakes, calipers, your flex wires, and even equipment for your parking brake. I'm just gonna go ahead and toss those on, run those up so we can get it all out of the way, and then we'll move to the front. So it's getting a little late. I don't want to push it again like the last couple nights I've been here till like 2, 3 in the morning. I'm gonna call it quits. We've got the whole rear end done up. Tomorrow, we move on to the front of the car. We're gonna jump in, do those drop spindles, springs, shocks, front sway bar, all that good stuff till tomorrow. Okay, new day, we're back. Where we left off, we got the whole backside all buttoned up, ready to rock. Still got a few other things to tighten up, but for the most part, all the hard parts are in. You can see the difference between the old 12 bolt that was in there, crappy old leaf springs, to now this fatty Currie 9-inch, new leaf springs, flip kit, got the C-notch kit in, new nitro street performance shocks from Belltech, and of course we've got the rear sway bar in. Something that definitely didn't come factory in this. Not to mention, got Willwood disc brakes, 4 piston calipers on there too. So now we can finally move to the front of the car. So, what we've got to do today, we've got to get all the old stuff off. We've got to put in the new drop spindles, springs, and new shocks, and also a front sway bar. So hopefully we can get a hand from some of the other guys today. We can pull them off some other stuff so we can just get this knocked out because this episode has to drop in 3 days. Get it in. All right, so we got some of the old parts laid out next to the new. As you can see, these drop spindles, you can tell where the spindle is mounted, so this is where we get our 3-inch drop from. Also, to back that up, comes with these drop shocks as well. Anytime you're gonna drop these down, the shocks need to be at the correct length as well. We are gonna take and put some new tie rod ends on and press in some new ball joints because these are pretty much blown out. Already got the spring in place, and then we can start putting this back together. Okay, so we're chipping away, making a little progress here. Luckily, Danger Dan came in and helped me out because I would have been fucked if it wasn't for him. Thanks, Dan. No problem. Now Vinny's got him. So Dan came through, pressed some new ball joints in for me. I got the shocks, got the springs, got the drop spindles in. So and we also got some new tie rods in. We're just chugging along. So I'm gonna try to get this all buttoned up, get it dropped, get it slammed to the ground. All right, let's go. Oh man, so there you have it.
Congrats on having a good stance truck now. This looks sick.
Thanks, Vinny.
Yeah.
This looks more appropriate.
Proper now.
Yeah. We got the Detroit steel Delrays on there, some 20s, just a nice classic look.
It's amazing what happens, like when you put these wheels on and before you lowered it, like it looks friggin' trash, and now it just looks like perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they just need to tuck. I mean,
It just, those wheels need to be on a slam truck.
yeah.
Like this is tight, man.
Sick. All in all, the install wasn't crazy hard. It's all bolt-in stuff. For most of it, it's nice to have a second set of hands because some of it's just so big and bulky and clunky that you need some help to manhandle it all in. Here, we still gotta button up a few things, but the stance is right. On the next episode, here's what we got going on. Finishing up getting this truck ready for some big power. Thank you for watching. All right, so there you have it. Another episode in the bag. Got a couple more coming. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And also tell us in the comments below what you'd like to see us build on this channel. We probably won't do it because we do what we like to do, but if it's cool and you got the same vibe, then we'll do that. Also, I'm going to be hawking a bunch of old C10 parts because I don't need them anymore. So, if you need wheels, if you need a 12 bolt, some old springs, get at me on Instagram. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe to, I think it's on this side. Is it on this side?
It's on the side.